Hey guys, I'm also the best, and today I will be talking about the golden age of American animation. I have quite a few things to say. I even made a script because there are so many things to say that I really can't just say it off the top of my head like I usually do. Anyway, moving on. The previous age of animation, the silent age, was really just a period of experimentation, and people were just testing animation. However, it wasn't really as prominent. Animation really started to take off in the 1920s. Two men who went by the names of Walt Disney and Ub Iwerks got into the scene. In the year of 1928, that is when they released a cartoon that started a new era. That cartoon was Steamboat Willie, which was also the debut of Mickey and Minnie Mouse, or at least one of the first cartoons to start in. And I am pretty sure you've heard or seen this scene from the cartoon. Unfortunately, I have to use this footage sparingly because Steamboat Willie is still copyrighted because of Disney doing some cheating and giving the government money to extend its copyright term when it was nearing its end. You got to love America, making exceptions to established laws when little money is involved. Anyway, Steamboat Willie was one of the first, if not the first cartoon to have synchronized sound, which made it a big hit. It's still a pretty good cartoon to watch today, if you can mind the animal abuse. As I said before, Steamboat Willie was the start of an era, the Golden Age. During this age, we have met a lot of new characters. In 1932, we met Goofy in his debut in the cartoon Mickey's Revue. Fast forward to 1934, and we meet my favorite Disney character, Donald Duck, in the cartoon Wise Little Hen. Walt Disney later realized that he needed to take this whole animation thing to the next level. He realized that no matter how much effort he put into cartoon shorts, they wouldn't be very profitable. So in 1934, he worked on a big project. It was the United States' first feature-length animated film. He was able to finish it in 1937 and released it in December 21st, 1937. It was immediately a big hit. That movie was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Disney made other animated movies such as Dumbo and Bambi. Now let's rewind to 1930, where we saw the first Looney Tunes cartoon, Sinking in the Bathtub. I don't find it as enjoyable as Steamboat Willie, but it's still pretty enjoyable. None of the characters that we know and love today existed, however. In 1935, we met Porky Pig in I Haven't Got a Hat. The cartoon wasn't really centered around him. Something I like about it was the song it was named after.
I think you're swell, I do. I'm standing pat. I tip my hat to you, but I haven't got a hat.
Daffy Duck's debut was in the 1937 Porky's Duck Hunt, which I couldn't find footage for. I did watch it, however, and it's pretty cool. Next, there is the famous Bugs Bunny.
What's up, Doc?
His first design was created in 1938 by Ben Bugs Hardaway, and his official design was created in 1940 by great animator Tex Avery. His first ever cartoon was released in 1938 and was called Porky's Hare Hunt. It had its early design. In 1940's A Wild Hare, that's when we saw his official design. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any good footage for that. I could talk more about Looney Tunes and the Warner Brothers animation studio in general. I have even covered Sylvester, Tweety, or even Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, but I think I've said enough. The next studio we talk about is Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. I wanted to talk about Hugh Harman and Rodolphe Ising's Happy Harmonies, but I couldn't get the footage I wanted. Now we introduce two young directors who you have probably heard of before. They are William Hanna and Joseph Barbera. If you know who they are, then you can probably guess what cartoon I'll talk about next. Hanna-Barbera created Tom and Jerry. The first Tom and Jerry cartoon was released on 1940. It was named Puss Gets the Boot. The characters Tom and Jerry were named Jasper and Jinx. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. With the rise of television in the 1950s, theatrical cartoons were starting to lose popularity. Instead of needing to go to a theater to watch cartoons, you could just see them at home. Of course, television cartoons were not animated as smoothly and were overall just not as expensive or time-consuming to make as theatrical cartoons. That has its benefits, but in the end, you get a lower quality product. Also, because of TV, movies had became less profitable. Theaters decided they need to cut costs, so one of the things they asked was we're having cartoons at the beginning of movies. The golden age ended in the mid 1960s. That is when we sadly enter the next age. A good thing is followed by a bad thing, as in the next video we will cover the dark age of animation. That's the video. Peace guys, I'm Moses the Best, and I had a lot to talk about. The golden age of animation was definitely my favorite.